Happy Valentine's Day, y'all. All right, so this month is all about finding your match. Not that kind of match, but your match in business. Your match with pricing. Your match with sales calls. Your match with follow-up. Now, today we're going to talk about the 4 different types of pricing models for your business, and you can find your match. So, pricing in the online world is a little bit like a crapshoot. I mean, you never know what you're going to get. You know, I literally see this woman or this human sitting at a computer with all of these prices coming at her. You know, charge what you're worth. Don't overcharge. It's unethical to make that much money. No, you should be making 400%. All of these things coming at you, it's just chaos. And there's no clarity. And so if there's no clarity in your pricing, if you've not found the right match, you do things like discount. You do things like second guess yourself. You can tend to get angry and bitter that you see that person out there who's not as good of a coach as you, most likely because you're fabulous, who doesn't seem to be selling anything tangible, charging $100,000 a year for their product or service, and you're feeling like, I can't sell mine at $5. Well, there's a whole lot wrapped up into why someone might be able to sell the exact same thing for $100,000 and you can't sell it for $5. But today, we're going to talk about the tactical practical. We're going to talk about your options when it comes to pricing so you can find the right pricing match. We're going to talk about 4. So the first type of pricing structure that we want to talk about is called commodity pricing. Lots of economics call it replacement cost. Commodity pricing is what is used to price lumber. So when I was selling at Georgia Pacific, so that's how we price lumber. So we would get a commodity sheet weekly that said, here's the going replacement cost of lumber. And then we would mark ours up. Commodity pricing usually goes to the lowest price. Commodity also includes things like toilet paper, toothpaste, things that you're going to need toilet paper regardless. So if times get tight, you're still probably going to buy toilet paper. Commodity pricing is not a great way to price online services. It is, however, important for you to get an idea of your replacement cost. So what I mean by that is how much time you're putting into something. You know, if you are selling, let's say that on average, I don't recommend charging by the hour, but let's say that on average you make $200 an hour, okay? And you sell we're going to make this easy. You sell a coaching package. Forget if you should or should not sell a 1-hour coaching package. That's not what this is about. This is an example. So let's say you sell 1 hour of your time for $200. And then you get off Zoom, and then you go do 17 hours of extra work for this person. Well, your replacement cost for what you delivered is not $200. You got to add in all the 17 hours, the time you were answering email, the time you were... So replacement cost typically means how much does it cost to replace this iPhone? What does it cost to make it? What are the parts cost? Has the pricing gone up on steel? iPhones don't have steel in them, but you get the picture. What does it actually cost to make this, for me to replace this sucker, right? That is commodity pricing or replacement cost pricing. Not a good way to sell in the online world at all. The next type of pricing is market comparison pricing. How much are other people selling it for? This is what we call comps, C-O-M-P-S. So when you sell a house, one of the first things that your agent will do is pull comps in the area, right? The house next door sold for $500. The house down the street sold for $5 million, right? You want to find an average sort of what the going rate is. Excuse me, please. What's in here, you ask? I have found my match. It is Olive Garden sweet tea with the peaches. In love. I know it's terrible for you. Love this stuff. So, market comparison. The problem with market comparison, well, let me back up. You do this when you sell a book to a publisher, one of the things you include in your proposal is comps. What did other books on a similar topic sell for? What are the residuals for that? So market comparison is really hard in our industry because it's all over the place. I do think it's important for you to know, what people are charging, but we use that to shame ourselves. We use that to make ourselves, myself included, feel so bad about, oh my gosh, person X over here is getting a download from the universe and charging $100 million for it. They don't even know what they're selling, and I'm actually helping people make more money and struggling to sell it at $5. So it is important to know what's going on in your market across the board, but I don't think comps are necessarily the way to sell in this industry, okay? The way you would price there is, okay, comps are, this person's selling this for $100,000, I'm gonna sell mine for $100,000. So you price based on what other people are doing. So commodity pricing is a replacement cost, and it's usually cheap, cheap, cheap. That is usually the cheapest kind of pricing. Market comparison just depends on the market, and we're all affected by the market in some ways. If there's a global recession, obviously that affects our ability to sell. Maybe it affects your pricing, but there's all going to be some up and down with the market, right? In 2015, it was much easier to sell a $25,000 coaching package. There were less coaches. Social media had not done what social media does yet. So it was easy to know where your customers were to go and sell to them. So that's market comparison. Okay, this next one is called, I love this one, value comparison. Value comparison. By the way, so some of these I am pulling from Josh Kaufman from the Personal MBA. I learned these at Georgia Pacific, just so you know. So I learned these when I sold lumber, but the way that Josh talks about these is so compelling that I wanted to bring that in and give him credit. It's a fantastic book. I said that weird. So the value comparison pricing method. And here's the question. Who is this valuable to? What are the features that would make this really, really valuable? Who is this particularly valuable to? So when we moved to Greenville, South Carolina, there was a zip code I wanted to live in. Not because they wore shirts that had their zip code on them. I don't remember what it was. But not because I wanted to be like 90210, hashtag I live in Beverly Hills. But I wanted to live in this zip code. Why? Why did I want to live in this zip code? Schools. I wanted Halliana to be zoned for a certain school. And if you have children, your real estate agent will talk to you about this house is zoned for this school. So that's a feature. Now, you've heard me say features don't sell. So what's going on here? Well, here's the thing. I don't really care about the numbers in the zip code. I don't care unless I have a kid. Some features are more valuable to one set of humans than they would be to other people. So the value comparison pricing model is about what are the features that make it valuable to a certain group of people. It is a great way to price your offers because the value to a specific group can be really, really high. We're going to come back to that, okay? The next type of pricing method for you to consider is what I call the future pricing module. That's not its technical name. Its technical name I'm going to read is the discounted cash flow / net present value pricing method. That is DCF / NPV. Too dang long. So we're going to call it FFF, future. Now, this method uses this question to set the price. How much is it worth over time? This method is only used for things that can produce an ongoing cash flow, where you can see it. Not, oh, you should be able to do it with this, but you can see it. I price my stuff this way. future, future, future. Because I can guarantee you, you will make money for the life of your business, for life, using what I teach you. So, for example, $4,500 might seem astronomical for the price of ASU. It makes you money year after year after year after year. If you close more customers for the next 10 years, hell, if you close more customers for the next year, you're going to make your money back. And then you're going to make more money and more money and more money. I have a customer who every year she calls me to say, or she boxes me to say thank you. Last year she boxed me and she said, hey, I just want you to know, I just closed an $80,000 deal using what I learned in sales school. She said, I have made more money every year, year after year after year, even through COVID. I had no idea that investment could make me so much money. So this is what I use to price my services, because I know that they're going to make you money. And I am willing to say, if they don't, let's talk. I will help you fix it. And that's where most people are not able to or willing to go, right? They're willing to make the big promise. They're willing to say, oh yeah, it'll work. But if it doesn't, then we blame you. So some of you may be thinking, okay, Kendrick, well, I can't produce an ongoing cash flow promise. So what do I use to price my services? You use the value comparison model. We don't want to be the cheapest on the block. You are not a commodity. My darling, you are special. But commodity pricing is used in our industry. Can you think about where? One-time offers, tripwires. Get this thing that's worth $5 million for $9 for the next 30 seconds. So commodity pricing is used there, but you need to price specialty. So the questions that we answer inside of ASU for you are, what's it worth to this group of people? If you're a life coach, what is living your best life, to quote Oprah? What is getting rid of your limiting beliefs? What is doing what you love worth? And those things can be difficult to put a price tag on. But we got a pricing structure that we've just added to ASU that's going to help you figure that out. So the 4 pricing methods are commodity, which we are not. You don't get a sheet saying this is what lumber is currently selling for. Now go mark it down or up. The next type is market comparison. That's a great thing to do when there is consistency in your market. We don't have any. It's a waste of your time, I think. The next type of pricing model is future, future, future. And the key there is, how much money is it going to make you in the long run? And can you show increased cash flow, increased money in the bank year after year after year? And most products online cannot do that. They promise they can, but they can't. The last one is market value. What's it worth to a certain group of people, to your avatar, to your ideal customer? And we help you figure that out inside of ASU. That's where most online businesses should be pricing. So now you know the 4 types of pricing methods, right? And you get to find your match. Or you can cheat off the teacher and just trust me when I tell you this is where you need to price. Sounds like a lot, but it's really pretty easy when you think about it. I'm going to give you a bunch of rapid fire answers to the most common pricing questions. Number 1, present your pricing with fewer syllables. So what I mean by that is, rather than saying it's $1,999, say it's $19.99. Now, you got to be honest, that's not $19.99, but the longer it takes you to say it psychologically, the longer it feels to us. Display prices in a smaller font size. Remove the comma. Offer payments in installments. And here's one we're going to end with. I was looking to make sure this is true. Statistically, men buy prices that are in the red, that are literally red colors. The color is red compared to black. So if you're selling to men, put those prices in red. I don't know why. Isn't that crazy? So there's some rapid fire coaching for you. So we have learned the 4 pricing methods. and where the optimal place for you to price services in the online world is, so that you don't feel icky, sleazy, slimy, gross, crusty, musty, rusty, dusty about your pricing, so that you're not using this chaotic world of online pricing that has no consistency to price your services, so that you feel good about your pricing. Why does that matter? Because if you don't believe it, your customer doesn't believe it. If you don't understand that it's priced the right way for the return on investment, and if you don't believe that, your customer's not going to believe it. Oh, I just priced it this way because Kendrick Shope's pricing something at $9. No. Believe in the value. Show me the value. Jerry Maguire, not show me the money. Show me the value, Cuba. So find your match. Well, I pretty much did that for you. So now, hold tight, because if you want to know how to figure all that stuff out within your match, we do that in ASU. And that's going to be coming around the corner pretty soon. So get on the wait list below just to get the information. And while you're there, ring the bell. I believe in you, and I believe in your business.